everyone, welcome back to Cook and Bake with Siri. Today we're going to be making a delicious creamy mashed potatoes, and these are super delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. So the ingredients you'll be needing for the recipe are 4 potatoes, 4 medium-sized potatoes, 1/4 of a cup of milk, 1/4 of a cup of melted butter, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. So the first step to be starting the recipe is to prep the potatoes. So since the skin is on the potatoes, we're going to be needing to peel these so that you get the ultimate creamy mashed potatoes. When you leave the skin on, it's just going to have a texture of skin peels in the mashed potatoes, and that's not going to taste very good. So we're going to take the peels off, and then I'm going to see you guys once I'm done with that. Okay, so once you've peeled one potato, another thing to keep in mind is that you're going to need to soak your potatoes in water. So just so that while you're peeling your other potatoes, these potatoes don't start changing other colors that you don't want them to be. So just take your potatoes, the peeled ones, and you're going to put them in a bowl of cold water, or lukewarm water. Okay, so now that all of our potatoes are peeled, we're just going to take a potato one by one, and what we're going to do to these is we're going to cut them into 1-inch cubes. And then your potatoes will be ready to boil. Okay guys, so all of our potatoes are peeled and cut, and so now we're going to move on to the next step. Okay guys, so my potatoes are now in a pot over the stove, and the potatoes are filled to the top almost with water, and you want to make sure the water is cold. And then you're going to turn on your flame to high heat for about 1 to 2 minutes until the water becomes warm, and then so after 1 to 2 minutes you're going to turn the flame on to low. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes with the potatoes on the high heat flame, and I'm going to bring this down to a low flame. And so at the beginning, I showed you that we needed 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of that salt, and we're just going to sprinkle all over. And this will just help that the salt really goes to those potatoes and make sure that you have some seasoned potatoes. After you've added your salt, you're going to boil these potatoes for about 15 to 17 minutes, and then we're going to do the next step. So my potatoes actually ended up taking quite longer than I expected. I did say 15 to 17 minutes, but just because of the pot I was using, it was a little bit more tall, so the potatoes took a little bit more time cooking, and these ones actually took 20 minutes, but it does depend on the type pot you're using. But when you want to know that they're ready is when you just take a potato. You should be able to take one, place it down, and then right when you know that you can just take it apart like that, and it's super easy to smash, and it's nice and perfectly cooked, that's when you'll know it's ready. So we're just gonna go ahead and to move on to the next step since my potatoes are cooked. Hey guys, so I just removed my potatoes from the flame, and I put them here, and what I'm doing is I just took a strainer. You can use any type of strainer, just make sure that all of the water is drained out of your potatoes. And I took like a bowl. You can do this with your sink too, but just to show you guys, I'm doing it here. And you're just going to take your pot and you're going to pour it in. It doesn't matter if you still have the water in with your potatoes since you're straining it, so just go ahead and dump it all out. So I've strained my potatoes, and all of my potatoes are perfect in this bowl here. And so they're fully cooked, and now what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a sieve, and if you have a silicone spatula, it's probably best to use it, but if you don't have that, you can use like a spoon or a fork too. So you're gonna get those things, and then you're gonna start the process of actually mashing the potatoes. Okay guys, so I grabbed my sieve. It's a bit small, but it'll have to do, and I've got my spatula, and I'm also gonna grab a bowl so that when I strain my potatoes or sieve them, they're gonna go into here. So I'm just gonna take a potato, and this, when you sieve, you can use like a potato ricer or like a potato masher too, but what will really get that super creamy consistency is using a sieve. So what you're gonna do is just mash them through, and then they'll all collect at the bottom, and then you just scrape the sieve, and then you put them in your bowl. So this is super easy. It does take a bit of time, and it does take a bit of strength, but promise me this will be what gets you that perfect, creamy, delicious consistency. And so you're just gonna do these to the rest of your potatoes, and then you're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, so we finished mashing all of our potatoes, and now we're gonna slowly add in our 1/4 of a cup of milk and our 1/4 of a cup of butter, bit by bit, and you wanna do it gradually in portions. So I'm just adding a little bit of butter and then a little bit of milk, and then mixing it all in until it's evenly mixed. So I finished mixing in the milk and the butter, and then I also mixed in the 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and then I seasoned it with a little bit of pepper, and then I also just added a little bit of butter on top, and they're super delicious. They're nice and creamy, and they taste so good, so I definitely recommend that you try out this recipe. And yeah, until next time, bye! So I finished mixing in the milk and the butter, and then I also mixed in the 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and then I seasoned it with a little bit of pepper, and then I also just added a little bit of butter on top, and they're super delicious. They're nice and creamy, and they taste so good, so I definitely recommend that you try out this recipe. And yeah, until next time, bye! So this is just a close-up of how they turned out. They look so great, and I definitely recommend you try out this recipe once again. Bye! Hey guys, so the recipe turned out great. They taste super delicious, and thank you everyone so much for watching. I definitely do recommend you try it out because it's super fun, super delicious. So yeah, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, turn on the notification bell, and also comment down below what recipes you would like to see next. Share this video with your friends, and until next week, bye!